You know what? I've accepted that finger guns is part of my opening, so let's just go for it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today we are playing with samples of makeup. I know that doesn't sound that exciting, but filming has made me realize that I have the most amount of samples of makeup and I don't even know how it happened. So I figured, why not play around with it? This is actually my favorite stuff to pack when I go traveling because it literally makes my makeup bag like a third of the size of what it could be. So if this sounds fun to you, just keep watching. First things first, I am tanner. I self-tanned for today's video because the sample of foundation that I have is too dark for me. So for eyeshadow, I don't technically have a sample of eyeshadow, but I do have a really small eyeshadow palette that I'm going to use. The only thing is that a while ago, I took out all of my eyeshadows out of the tiny palettes that I had because they were taking up too much room, and I put them in my Z palette. So the shadows that I'll be using today, I will put a little thing right here of the one that I'm going to use. Actually, what am I using? Okay, so the eyeshadow that I'll be using today is the Urban Decay Daydream Kristen Leanne eyeshadow palette. It is from here to here. These are the Kristen Leanne eyeshadows. And since I don't have the actual palette anymore, I'll just pop up an image right here every time I use a shade. So let's get started with eyeshadow. The weather's turning a little bit nicer, so I want to do a little bit of a spring-inspired look, but still something slightly dark. So the first shade that I'm going to use is 1212. And I'm just going to take a nice fluffy brush, and I'm actually just going to put this all over my lid. So I'm getting the color on the side of the brush, and I'm kind of packing it on first. And then I gently start to blend it up. And I don't want to go any further than that. I'm going to take a different shade to blend that out, so it's more of a transition. I'm going to take a nice fluffy brush and I'm going to dip into Daydream, tap off the extra, and this is what I'm going to use to blend out 1212. As you can see, it's a very like almost my skin tone. Urban Decay shadows are always really good, so I'm excited to be using them today. And now I'm going to take a small angled fluffy-ish brush. This is another one of those like dollar Walmart elf brushes. And I'm going to take 8. And this is what's going to make our look more dramatic. So I just tapped off the extra since it's a dark color. And I don't want it fluffing everywhere. So I'm starting this on the lower lash line because that's where I want the most intensity. And then slowly, very gently working my way up towards the crease. So this is where our smokiness is coming into play. But that pink peeping through I feel like is quite springy and nice. I'm going to go back into our first brush to blend out the edges. Oops, coffee cup. Also, speaking of my coffee cup, did you guys notice? Check this cup out. It makes me so happy. This one right here, this princess one, oh God, it looks like there's something wrong with her and I absolutely love it. Anyway, and then to really pack on this color even more, I'm going to take a pencil brush, I think. So this is much stiffer than that angled brush, so it's gonna pack on color even more. And I like it because it's so small that it's really gonna keep that color in the area that I want it. can see, I've blended this dark shade pretty much all over the entire lid, but still keeping that intensity at the base. With a look like this, there is a lot of back and forth blending. And each time I go back into blend with the first or the second brush, I am not putting any more product on them. I'm just using them to blend it out. I wish I was from like New Zealand or British or something. I love Shan XO, and she's from New Zealand, and she always says that something looks quite cool. She's like, oh, that looks quite cool. But she says it in her accent, and it sounds way better than if I'm just like, I think that looks quite cool. She's like, it's quite. I can't do an accent, never mind, okay. All right, I zoomed you guys out a little bit. We're gonna jump into the face. The first sample size item that I have is primer, and I have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I've used it like once. Don't know how it went. Don't know a difference, so we're gonna test that out today too. This is the only product that I'm really testing that is new. Everything else I've tried and I actually know that I really like, so this is really the only one that I'm not positive about, but it is like one of the most popular items out there. So I just squirted out 2 little pumps. All right, so my mirror is right behind you guys, so you'll see me. Whoa! I was gonna say you'll see me looking that way. That oh, do you guys hear that? That felt like glue. Which I know it's supposed to be a gripping primer. Like that is, whoa, that's so sticky. Oh my God. Do you see my skin? I feel like I need to like wash my hands now. Oh my God. Okay, wow. Can't get over that one. That was nuts. Okay, so the product I'm going to be using for foundation is my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This also comes in a neat little pump. It's neat. I like that. That's cool. It's not my first time using this, like I said, but I'm appreciating the packaging. I'm just gonna start off with, well, I'll do 2 pumps. I'm going to use a beauty sponge instead of a brush for this because with the primer, I feel like it's going to make the foundation more difficult to move around since it's supposed to like get on there and stick. So I'm going to use a beauty sponge and I'm just dipping a little bit into the foundation. This is definitely a full coverage foundation and definitely yellow toned. It says it's neutral. I have 5.5 neutral. It is for sure yellow. So if you're new here, hi, I have very pink undertones in my skin. So I don't think this is neutral at all. Like I think this looks really yellow, but that's not what we're here for, I guess. Well, I definitely have too much. I think I could have used like only a pump. So for concealer, I have a bunch of the Too Faced Born This Way Super Coverage Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. So I got like one of those like packs where it was a bunch of different shades. So from what I can see here, I think my shade will be Nude, which is described as a very light rosy shade. So I'm just going to pick some up with my finger and so that I don't apply too much. I'm just going to do dots. We'll highlight a little. There we go. And because we have that intense pink on the top lid, and I'm going to put it on the bottom as well, I'm gonna flip this over because I put too much concealer on. Like I was saying, because of that pink tone or that pink shade that's on the lid, you definitely want to use a more full coverage concealer when you're using something like that. Otherwise, it's going to look like you're like sick or something. I'm going to take a concealer brush because this sponge is just too big. I'm gonna get that blended into my inner corners better. So I actually lied. The primer is not the only thing that's new to me. This concealer is also new, and then that's it. Those are the only new things. I know that a lot of people rave about this concealer. I feel like though I do look a little wrinkly down here, which I have creases, that's going to happen. But I'm wondering if it's more than when I use my Tarte Shape Tape. I don't know, I feel like it looks more creasy. So for powder, we're using, which has made many appearances before, my little Laura Mercier powder. And like I always say, I have a large one of this, but I'm just trying to go through this little guy. Which is funny because I'll probably just refill it once I'm done because I use it for traveling. Maybe I shouldn't be trying to go through it. I'm trying to get these creases out a little bit, at least before I powder. I don't know how well that's working. All right, so before I continue on with the base, I'm going to finish my eyes. So I'm going to take a small, very stiff smudger brush, again, one of the cheap e.l.f. ones. I'm going back into 8. I don't want this to be too intense, so I am pushing this right onto the lower lash line. And I'm not going to blend it down at all with this brush. I'm just pushing it up onto there. And then with a very small fluffy brush, I'm going to slightly mix Daydream and 1212. So just dipping a little bit into each one and then tapping off the extra. And that's what I'm using to blend out this lower lash line. As usual, making sure the top and bottom are connected. I think this looks awesome. This is like one of my favorite looks that I've done, I think. I'm really enjoying it. So now I'm going to take the lightest shade Lucy, and I'm going to use that in my inner corner. All right, so actually to get this to show up more, I wound up not tapping off my brush a second time and just going right in. All right, awesome, loving it. Loving it. All right, so back into the base, I'm going to use my mini sample Hoola Benefit Bronzer. I dropped this and just put it back together this morning. Another item that I've dropped because the blush I'm going to use, spoiler alert, I also dropped in the past and had to put together with rubbing alcohol, but my rubbing alcohol from Sally's smells like cherries, like legit medicinal cherry cough syrup. And they don't tell you that. It's not anywhere on the bottle, but that smells so strong now that I miss the old scent. That's sad. I don't think it used to have a smell at all. I think it was just non-smelling. There was no fragrance before. Because this is a more cool toned bronzer, I want to be more precise with it. And my favorite brush to do that is the Morphe M510. This is, I think, actually a highlighter brush, but you can see it gets really fluffy. But I'm just going to dip in there just a little bit and tap off the extra. And then I'm going to very lightly, like, you guys can see like how much I'm touching my skin. I think that's the biggest mistake with makeup, and this is definitely at least what I used to do when I started out. I would really dig into shadow, get a lot of product on the brush, and then I would like pack it on, and then I'd be like, why isn't this blending out? I don't think people talk enough about how it's really about knocking off that excess and then lightly going in and like buffing very gently to get that product to like zhuzh out. I don't know, at least that's what my issue was when I first started makeup. But I'm just slowly building this. And as more product gets on, that's when I start applying more pressure. And do my forehead. I just start at the top and work my way down into my temples. I'm just taking whatever's left on this brush and just running it on the sides of my nose, just for some color there. And then I'm gonna go in with my Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush from Tarte in Party. And put this on my cheeks. I think this pink will look really nice since we have that pink on the eyes. I think it'll look cool. Something else that I like to do when I'm tanner, I actually take my blush and I run it on my temples. Because you think about it, when you're sunburned or you get some sun, it's not just all tan right away. Like, you get a little bit of a burn, and I think putting the pink up there is like, this was natural. I was just out in the sun. This isn't all makeup. All right, and then moving on to highlighter, I have this mini Bare Minerals Illuminating Mineral Veil. I actually don't know how I feel about this. I know that there's glitter, like, kind of in here. I'm not sure if it's gonna show up, but at least I thought there was glitter in here. In my brain, there was glitter in here in the past. So I just have a little bit in the cap, and I dipped a little bit in. You can see it right on the tip of my brush. Tapped off the extra, and we're going to use this to dust on a highlight. Maybe there isn't glitter in that. I'm not seeing any. Why did I think there was glitter in that? What was my mind thinking of? No, see, I feel like I see glitter. There's definitely glitter in there, but I don't see it on my face. I mean, I guess that's good. I don't want glitter on my face, but I'm confused. And then for brows, I'm going to use my Essence Eyebrow Designer Pencil. It's not technically a mini, it's just sold this tiny, but it's tiny, so we're gonna use it. So as you can see, I went for a more natural, fluffy brow today. And then I'm going to use my Hourglass Caution Extreme Lash Mascara. This mascara is so good. I think this is my second sample of it. Yeah, second sample. And I've honestly had it for so long, but I just like don't use it because it's so good that I want to like hoard it. I should use it because it's really good and it's my favorite, but I'm like, I can't. It has to be special occasion. All right, mascara is on. The thing that I like about this formula, it's like it's waterproof. It doesn't flake. I don't think it's a tubing mascara, but it comes off like in tubes. Like, it's not that hard to get off, but once it's wet, it like, you can just like pull it off and then you like see it and it's like, there it is in the form of your lash. It's so crazy. If you like a more natural looking lash, this is not it for you. But if you can get your hands on a sample of this, if you like a more voluminous lash, my God, do it. Because it is so freaking good. Okay, we're at the point where it is time for lips. The only small sample size lip pencil that I have is from Makeup Forever, and it's in the shade 606 Wherever Walnut. Oh, you can, oh wait, can you also use this on your eyes? You can. Okay, This might look weird. I'm gonna put this in my waterline because it's like kind of pink and we have pink on the eyes. That might look cool. Ooh, so we're gonna do it. All right, let me know. Does it look cool or do I just look sick? All right, I'm just gonna sharpen this really quick and then we're gonna put it on the lips. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to not press very hard at all and I'm gonna apply this all over. Lip liner is good, and so to try and pick a shade, I just swatched the 3 options I'm looking at on the back of my hand. So this first top one is from Buxom and it's called Nude Exposure. And the middle one is from Sephora. It's their cream lip stain in the shade 32. And then this last dark one is from Ciate London. It's a liquid velvet and the sticker's off. I will link it below if I choose that one. And I'm going to put on the Sephora one, which I actually have used this a lot. I'm really surprised that there's anything even left in here. I know it's really tiny, but it lasted me forever. So this is the look that I came up with. I'm glad that I have all of these in samples. I love all of these products. I think what I would repurchase if I ran out of the sample would be the foundation, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I would repurchase that. And the Hoola bronzer. I have a lot of bronzers, but this is a more cool tone bronzer and I just really like it. Laura Mercier, I already have a full-size one. Multiple repurchases of this guy. It's awesome. When it comes to the mascara, part of me wants to so badly purchase a full size. But then I have so many good drugstore mascaras that it's almost not worth it, even though it is worth it. So this, I feel like if you have the money to spend on it, yes. But I have so much makeup. That's a tough one. Everything else, I guess we used the primer. Ooh, the primer that I used in my last video, the Tarte Poreless Primer. That one is so good. I mean, I guess I'll see how this one holds up throughout the day, but it didn't really do anything for my pores, and that's really important for me, so I don't think I would repurchase that in a full size. The Gimme Brow, I have others that I like. My L'Oreal one, I'm so into that I don't think I would purchase the Gimme Brow. And then the lip products, I have so many lip products that I don't think I'd repurchase any full-size items. And even when it comes to the Sephora mini one, I have so many other nude liquid lipsticks that I probably wouldn't repurchase this one either. I have other lighter colors that I can move on to. So there is your wrap up. I think I hit all of my points. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe. Uploads are every Tuesday and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and everything will be linked in the description box down below. All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and go have a good one. Bye. Because all right, let's back that up then. The first sample primer. Change my ring light. Ugh. It's one of these packages again. Gosh. And I'm wearing white today. Oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. Hey, what are you barking at? You're fine. I'm blending. Where? You're not even attached, are you? No, you're not. And put this on my cheeks. Cheeks? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. No, I can't stop saying the word cool. God. How